Some stories seem stranger than fiction, and this one is no exception. Imagine a group of healthy young men venturing out into the wilderness of California, where their lives take a turn so dark, so perplexing, that it's baffled investigators and haunted the public for nearly 5 decades. Buckle in. This is one case you won't forget. Welcome to the Nightside Archive. Tonight, we dive into the silent terror of the Yuba County Five. It was February 24th, 1978. 5 friends, Bill Sterling, Jack Madruga, Ted Weiher, Jack Hewitt, and Gary Mathias, decided to take a road trip to attend a college basketball game in Chico, California. These men shared a bond beyond their love for sports. They all had minor mental and emotional disabilities, but were highly functional and looked after each other like brothers. They were called the Boys by their loved ones, affectionate moniker reflecting the tight-knit nature of their lives. That night, after enjoying the excitement of the game, they stopped by a convenience store to pick up snacks, candy bars, soda, and cartons of milk for the ride home. The clerk spotted nothing unusual about them. They were cheerful, joking around. But this was the last time anyone would see the group alive and together. When they failed to return home, their families were immediately distressed. These weren't impulsive men. They valued structure and routine. Calls were made, and a search ensued. Days turned into weeks with no sign of them, until their Mercury Montego was discovered on a remote mountain road, miles off their planned route back to Yuba City. The car was abandoned, but eerily intact. Here's where it gets baffling. The Montego was found on a gravel road often blocked by snow in winter, high up in the Plumas National Forest. It was in good working condition, with enough fuel in the tank and no evidence of damage. Jack Madruga's loved ones were adamant. He hated the cold and would never voluntarily drive up a desolate, icy trail in the dead of night. So how did the car get there? And why? Things only got darker. 4 months later, on June 4th, 1978, a group of motorcyclists stumbled across an abandoned Forestry Service trailer 19 miles from where the car was found. Inside was the mummified body of Ted Weiher. He was wrapped in 8 layers of blankets and had lost nearly 100 pounds. Medical examiners determined he had died from starvation and hypothermia. But here's the chilling detail. The trailer was stocked with canned food and matches, yet Weiher seemingly didn't attempt to open most of the supplies. His frost-bitten feet suggested he had wandered barefoot, adding to the puzzlement. As searchers scoured the nearby area, they located the remains of Sterling and Madruga, roughly 11 miles from the car, scattered bones lying side by side in the thick underbrush. Madruga was partially eaten by scavengers. Weiher's body bore no such signs, possibly shielded by the trailer. All that was left of Hewitt was his spine. And then there's Gary Mathias. His remains, if they were ever discovered, were never linked conclusively to the case. Mathias had schizophrenia, but had been stable for years due to medication. Yet some wondered, had he succumbed to the elements, or had he been responsible for driving them into this nightmare? Theories abound, some plausible and others downright chilling. Could they have been victims of foul play? One suggestion involves the possibility of a second, unidentified vehicle leading them astray, perhaps in an attempt at robbery or abduction. Another haunting theory suggests sheer disorientation and panic. The boys could have become lost and took a wrong turn in their car, abandoning it once the road became impassable. But that doesn't explain why none of them had tried to trek back down the mountain for help while they still had strength. Maps in the Montego could have led them to safety, but they were untouched. And then, there are whispers of something far more sinister. Some speculate about strange lights reported in the area that night, attributing their fate to unexplained phenomena, uncanny coincidences, or unearthly intervention. The possibility remains maddeningly elusive. What adds to this mystery is the personal history of Gary Mathias. While he was reliably on medication, a few witnesses speculated that he might have had a psychotic break under the stress of an unexpected situation. Could his uptick in aggression during a past unmedicated period have resurfaced? Did he become a risk to his friends, leaving only after tragedy unfolded? Flip the perspective once more, and you wonder, did they seek refuge in the trailer only after dire circumstances? Could Vihir's lack of engagement with the supplies be tied to his mental state, or was something, perhaps someone, keeping them from acting rationally? Whatever unfolded that icy night, none of it answers the larger mystery. Why were they there at all? They were familiar with the general geography, and it seems unimaginable they'd willingly traverse winter wilderness so unprepared. Ted Vihir had shoes that didn't belong to him, while others wore layers of clothing not originally theirs. It was as though they scavenged among themselves, survivors barely clinging to life. As we edge closer to this case's anniversary every year, it becomes all too clear. There may never be closure for the families of the Yuba County Five. Whispers of the unexplained and fragments of what happened haunt California's cold mountains, an unsilenced echo reminding us that some trails lead only to shadows and speculation. So, what would you do? Faced with cold desolation, bizarre circumstances, and the unknown, would you have survived this tragedy? Or, like the Yuba County Five, would your story be told in fragments for the decades to come? This haunting case is frozen in the annals of uncertainty. If you've enjoyed tonight's dive into the mysterious, make sure to like and subscribe for more chilling tales from the Nightside Archive. Darkness never gives up its secrets easily, but sometimes it lets you glimpse what lurks within. Until next time.